Hi everybody. This is a tale of 4 horses. They're all actually the same horse, but I got carried away, didn't like the first one, didn't like the second one, didn't like the third one, so I will tell you how this all came about. I started out wanting to make a palomino, so I used kind of this yellowish, tan, beigey kind of clay to make the body, and we're going to make his neck. So we're just making a horse head. Just kind of shape the neck. Yeah, I got a little piece of black clay in there. There, I got it out. And you just want to show a little bit of like neck muscle, or I don't know, just give it a little depth there. Of course, you can make your horse any color you want. I made this ornament in Super Sculpey long time ago, and I never made any more, and I don't know why, I just didn't. But I decided, well, maybe now's the time to do it. And why I picked green to make the horseshoe, I guess I was thinking it's Christmas. I'll make a green horseshoe. Do what I do when it comes to colors. So you kind of shape that into the shape of a horseshoe. And we're going to put it over the neck because he's putting his head through the horseshoe from the back. Now I'm kind of flattening it out, but don't make it too flat. Just kind of make it like, you know, how a horseshoe's flat. And I'm going to use the roller to just roll it out, smooth it out, not to flatten it. I'm always telling you this. There we go. I've had that roller more than 20 years. My sister gave it to me, and she passed away 20 years ago. And she gave it to me a few years before she passed away, and it's by Pampered Chef. And remember, when you're making these Christmas ornaments, you don't have to make it look absolutely real. I mean, people know it's not a real horseshoe. I mean, you want it to look like a horseshoe, but it doesn't have to be exact. The same with the horse head. You're not doing fancy sculpture. You're making a Christmas ornament. Now we're going to shape the head, and we're going to start by just making it kind of like an egg shape. And then, you know, I looked at so many pictures of horses' heads. I even went to the Goodwill store and bought a little kid's horse, you know, toy horse that's very realistic looking, just so I had something to look at. And still, I don't think I got it quite right. But like I said, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And one of my friends had a Palomino horse, so I thought, well, I'll make a Palomino. And just kind of shape it, make it look like a horse head. Now, I know I made many mistakes on this, which I'll tell you about when we get to them. And now we're going to attach it. And at this point, he looks pretty decent. I just added that on to thicken up his neck a little bit. I thought his neck was a little too thin. Just kind of play around with it until you get the shape you like. Here's one of my first mistakes. I think I made his mouth way too big. I just went in a little too far with the needle tool. So, don't go in quite as far. Or it might help you to look at a picture of a horse while you're doing this. But, like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. You're making a Christmas ornament. There's his nose. If you notice at the beginning, I had the nose right, and then I just kept messing with it. I should have left it alone. But we're not looking too bad at this point. Just fattening up his cheek a little bit here. I thought it was a little flat. So make sure you blend the edges in, though. From what I see, I didn't quite blend them in as well as I should have. And this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm dressing him up for Christmas. Excuse me. And I put the eye in the wrong place. I think it should have been up a little bit higher and forward a little more next time. Next time we'll do better. I'm being very critical of myself here. I don't know why. It's really not a good thing to criticize yourself too much. But if you learn from it. Now we're going to make the eyes. Put that in. Put a little white in. I kind of put it all in the eye cavity. And then I'm going to put some brown iris on top of that. Cornea. I should know what a cornea is since I have two corneal diseases that will eventually leave me blind. So unless I get a cornea transplant, which, kind of dreading, but anyway, I digress. When you put those eyelids on, make sure you blend it in very well to the body. You don't want it to look like he's wearing a pair of glasses. And since he's a Palomino, he's going to get a white mane. And I'm just rolling out pieces like that. Now, as I layer it, I roll out pieces and flatten them and twist them into a spiral. And I had a little glitch with my camera, which is coming up, where all of a sudden you don't see how I put the ribbon and the bow on top. And I think what happened was that the camera battery died and I didn't notice it for some reason. I actually don't know what happened because usually I hear it shut off when the battery dies. Put his ear on. We just need one ear because the other ear is on the other side of the horseshoe. And the camera glitch is coming up and we're going to jump ahead, which I'm sure you don't mind because you don't want to sit here for 5 minutes watching me put the mane on. See, and I even tell you. And there we are. We magically have a ribbon and bow, and the mane is on. And it doesn't look too bad at this point. And we're going to put the holly leaves on. You know, I like my holly leaves and berries. And you notice on the close up what I meant about flattening some of the main pieces and then just twisting them and putting them on. I have 2 layers of clay for the mane. And now we're putting on the holly leaves. And if you don't want to put those on, you don't have to. And you know, as I'm narrating this and telling you how to do it, I'm kind of liking the horse. I don't know, maybe I should have left him. It's just that green horseshoe just totally threw me. I should have made the horseshoe gray to begin with, or even silver would have been good. Now I've rolled some yellow clay through the pasta machine. I'm going to and folded it over, make it a little bit thinner there, and I'm going to cut out a star. So this is where you can personalize it if you want to personalize it, or you can just put the year on there. But first we are going to make a candy cane strand. I'm going to put that there. Okay. And if you don't like to listen to my voice, which I don't even like to listen to my voice, you can just turn the volume off and watch. Oh, I hope you don't hear the dogs barking. And now this is where I start to mess up when I put the blush on. Now that's okay. Now that is eyeshadow, it's not blush, but it works just as well. But I'm always tempted by the different colors, the different browns. So I want to put a little shading on him, and I just put a little too dark and too much. Kind of overdid it right there. And maybe that's what threw me off. Oh, I got a text message. I'm getting ready with the Pearl-Ex. Oh no, be prepared. It's not pretty. And I probably should have left well enough alone and just stopped right here. But I'm using this as a teaching moment for everyone. If you make an ornament, you don't like the way it looks, you can change it. His mouth is too big. Don't make your horse's mouth that big. No, otherwise he looks okay. And now I'm going to ruin it. And I don't know what possessed me to do this. I really, really don't. I think maybe the Pearl-Ex powder was just sitting there saying, use me, please. There I go. And it wouldn't have been so bad if I had just used it on the horse. But I put it on the star. I put it on the bow and the ribbon. I put it on the horseshoe. I don't know what I was thinking. I just went overboard. So I'm not going to show you the whole ordeal of me putting it on. So we will be jumping forward a little bit. Oh, and I didn't just put this on him. I also put silver Pearl-Ex on the mane. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Why? And there he is. Okay, looking back, not too bad, but here's, well, my pictures are totally out of sync, so I don't know what's going on here. But thank you for watching.